Hello, welcome to another very special edition of the Dart Show. Yes, we are still at home, of course, but we are here for you for another special edition. We're really looking forward to this show. Got plenty to discuss. I'm delighted to say my Dart Show regulars are with me, Dan Dawson and Paul Nicholson, and I'm absolutely delighted to be joined by Alan Warriner-Little from the PDPA as well. Loads to discuss with him as well. Gents, Dan, firstly, starting with you. I mean, everyone's seen Dan's face, whether you watched it on Sky Sports, the PDC Twitter. Dan's face watching every single match from the home tour. My question to Dan, after 2 weeks, has he had a shower?
Yeah, I've managed to do that, but I've spent an awful lot. I'm in a beanbag right now and have been for a significantly bigger portion of my days than ever before. I've sort of lost track where the man ends and the bag starts. But look, I mean, at least we're getting some darts to watch. I suppose that's the bonus. Not all of us have a fancy London flats to live in. I'm in a basement in Birmingham, Bridget.
Well, Paul, whereabouts are you at the moment? But I've got to say, Paul, whereas Dan's lost his hair, he shaved it all off, yours is looking dashing.
Well, it's not as good as yours, Bridgie, but yeah, you wouldn't believe the amount of mousse that's gone into this, and then the gel afterwards, and the blow drying. It's giving me an arm ache. But it's just to keep it out of my eyes, because I've been training so much when I've not been playing darts and commentating on online leagues. But it has been a busy time for me. But it's great to see so many people on and off the tour who are playing darts right now. And darts has come to the fore, which is nice for people to watch in this really tough time.
Yeah, I feel darts is leading the way here. Alan, do you feel like that as well? Do you feel proud about that?
It's incredible, really, isn't it, when you look at the media attention as well, because it is really the only sport that's going ahead. Everybody was a bit dubious at the start, but I think it's gone really well, apart from Dan's hair. But
same as yours, man.
I don't know who followed who here. I think we're too tight to get haircuts, but to save some money, Dan, you know what it's like. But it has been, it's been really good to watch. It's been positive from the players. The players have really got on board with it. Unfortunately for Keegan last night, he had some internet issues. But generally, it's gone pretty well. Everybody seems to be watching it, which is even better. But it's giving the players something to do, to practice, to aim for. And it's gone down really well at the moment in time.
Are you proud as well, Alan? Because, as I said, it's not just the top 16. It is players from across the board. And that's where I think the PDC should be commended.
Yeah, it's giving everybody a chance. Everybody a tour card holder. The 1 to 8, they all had the opportunity. A few didn't take up that offer, but that's that's up to them, really, I suppose. A few of them didn't say they wanted to at the start, but then have changed their minds once they've seen the product. I think a lot of people were unsure what it was going to be about and how it was going to be run, with it being from home and obviously Dan commentating. That's always the dubious bit. But that's 2 goals I've had you, Dan. I'm sure you get your own back.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Just really, sorry, Dad. I love you, really. But I'm just really pleased that the players have taken it on board to a positive level and just keeping darts up there in the sporting world.
I mean, let's go to Dan then, because you've seen it all. It's been a real success so far, hasn't it, Dan? Because you've seen players you wouldn't expect to be hitting such great darts, and you're getting surprises. There's no such thing as an out and outright group winner favourite, is there, at the moment?
No, there isn't. I think it's different. I was surprised because I thought when this all started up, we'd be seeing guys playing as if they were practicing at home. And so we'd see the standards that we know, or at least they say they produce on a regular basis. And you go and speak to the players when they go and have practice games, if they have a regular practice partner. Paul will know some incredible darts are thrown on the practice boards. But once you put the camera on them, once you knock them out of their rhythm as well, because you're not just constantly throwing, you've not got another person physically there with you. It is a different kind of feeling. And it's thrown some players off. You know, we've not seen astronomical averages. We've seen some very good displays on the night, but they have come from players who perhaps aren't the world's elite. You know, Peter Wright and Gavin Price couldn't win their groups, but players like Ryan Searle, Gert Nenchez played very, very well in his night. So I think it's just a different kind of feeling, and whoever adapts to that most quickly wins on the night. And so, look, it's been different. It's been a little bit surprising, but we all know these guys can play darts, so it's not a surprise that we're going, you know, we've seen some magic stuff, not least from a guy we'll speak to later in Luke Woodhouse in the 9-darter.
Who has stood out for you so far? I mean, you've watched all the matches, you've commentated on all the matches. Is there anyone you think, wow, I did not expect that from him?
I'm not sure. I mean, I was very impressed with Gert Nenches, very impressed. But I mean, you know what? Maybe some of these young lads who literally, like Gert, he was playing in, I think, his bedroom or in his attic at his mum and dad's place. There's a few of the young lads who are stepping up off the dev tour who are playing in the senior circuit, and they might still be living at home. Their board at home might be where they've learned to play the game, and they've spent hours and hours and hours on their own as a kid growing up playing on that board. So maybe that's actually plays into their hands a little bit, some of those guys, or the guys who've had their man caves that they've been using for year after year after year, like Ryan Searle, who's probably been the top performer over the course of an entire night of action. Whereas some of the big names, they perhaps don't practice that much at home anymore because they're constantly in the Premier League, the World Series. They're going off to tournaments and playing there. So, yeah, I mean, Max Hopp, for example, he'd moved back to Idstein, his hometown. It was a very temporary setup that he was playing on. Not really used to it. Nathan Aspinall has had to put a board up in his house because he usually practices at a club that his manager owns down the road in Stockport. So it's a little bit, as I said, it's out of their comfort zone. But I think that we all know the capabilities of the guys on the tour. That's how you get on the tour. It's who can deal with this odd situation best. And Ryan Searle's the one that stands out, Luke Woodhouse as well, Gert Nenches. But there have been some good... I mean, Gerwyn Price didn't win his group, but played some decent darts. He just got undone by that incredible game from Luke Woodhouse where he did him 5-0.
So it was a great few weeks in the Premier League. And one of the highlights was always, as always, is in Liverpool. Stephen Bunting, one of the challengers. And we spoke to him before his match with Rob Cross.
It's amazing to be back in the Premier League. I think the big difference about me the last time I played in the Premier League to the Stephen you see today is just confidence again. And obviously I had a lot of confidence when I first was in it. I won a few tournaments, I was the world champion and stuff. But nowadays I'm just really consistent on the tour. I think 17 in the world at the minute. I'm happy with my form and just happy with life in general. So I just can't wait to get up and play. Really happy to have been selected as a challenger again. Obviously, I've played in the Premier League before, so I've got some experience of what it's about. But I think the PDC have rewarded me for having a really good season, just being consistent again on the TV, and it's nice to actually feel back and wanted. I wanted to be the first contender to win. Obviously, Luke Humphries got that win last week, and I threw my slipper at the TV. I was gutted, but yeah, like I say. I still want to win as a contender, and hopefully the run of the contenders can go on. Playing in front of a home crowd, it's going to be amazing. Obviously, they're all going to be cheering my name, and hopefully I can use them as the 12th man. And hopefully it affects Rob in a way that I can gain a bit of an advantage from the crowd.
Stephen shot into a 5-1 lead but couldn't keep that momentum, and slowly Rob Cross got back into the match. Bunting eventually holding his nerve and settling for a draw.
Stephen, how was that for you?
Yeah, a bit nervy, but obviously I'm glad to get the result in the end, 6-all, so yeah, I'm happy with that. Couldn't relax, obviously. Cheers, Rob. No, it's a difficult game playing Rob, but I'm happy with the points at the end. I'd love to be back here again. Obviously, I want to push in. I need to work hard, and I'm sure it will.
So for now, the Premier League, of course, is on hold. We look forward to getting that back at the end of 2020. But for now, all the talk is on the PDC home tour. And what a start it's been. It's been so exciting. Exciting for one man in particular, Mr. 9-darter, who's created history. Mr. Luke Woodhouse. I'm delighted to say he joins us now. Luke, how did it feel when you hit that 9-darter?
Yeah, it was fantastic. I'm a little bit taken aback how far it's gone, really, but to do it was brilliant. And sort of at the time, it was just like, I don't know, sort of, I've done a fair few in my kitchen before, so to do one sort of live on stream was brilliant.
Well, I was working at Sky Sports that morning, and that was very highly covered. Of course, darts is one of the only sports, well, the only sport that Sky are covering at the moment. So you were featured throughout. Were there any nerves when you were about to hit the winning, the 9-darter?
Not really, no. I just tried to go with the flow, really, and tried to play as relaxed as possible. I was more nervous playing Ted in the first game. So I got a lot more nerves after I hit the 9, and I sort of knew the average was, especially after Dan said he's on 111 average, so it was more nerve-wracking after 9. Then obviously I popped the 127 after as well, which was, I don't know really what went on. I haven't played like that for a long, long time, so yeah, it's good.
And Dan, you get to call a 9 darter again.
Yeah, no, I wasn't really expecting it, to be honest. I mean, look, Luke, do you feel you grew into it over the course of the night? You got used to the conditions? Because we were talking about it earlier in the show. Like darts, it's an adversarial thing. It's a gladiatorial thing. You've got an opponent right there with you. And yes, you're playing the board, but you're also playing the guy with you, the guy who's next to you. So when you take that out, does that sort of change the game a bit for you?
Yeah, I've spoken to a few people about it, and a lot of the time, like other players will say, you can sort of go off. Sometimes you go off players' body language. You can go off whether they're trying to get to the board quick or not, and you sort of can get in their rhythm and play sort of adjust your game to their rhythm. But when you're on your own, it's very, very weird just waiting for a call to be said and then sort of, right, let's go again. You're almost like when you practice, you try and sort of recreate the timing. Well, I do anyway. Recreate the timing of someone else throwing, so you're not constantly just going back and forth. But obviously, when you're playing someone on the stream, you're just waiting for a call to be called out, and then you go.
But look, I have to ask you, a lot of people have done great things for the first time. We talk about someone like Paul Lim, for instance, or John Lowe doing the first time. You will always be known as the first person to have done this. So does that make what you've done extra special?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I haven't really thought about it too much. This week's been pretty it's chaotic. I've done a few sort of interviews with a couple of newspapers and on the radio and stuff. But yeah, I suppose I've had someone mess with me the other day, so I've changed my nickname to Luke Lockdown Woodhouse. But I don't know if I'll go that far. Yeah, I suppose it's going to be always the person, because obviously it's been publicly made that I practice and I play in my kitchen, so it's always sort of the 9 darter from the kitchen. So yeah, I suppose it's going to be something that I'm going to be sort of paired with over the years. Yeah.
Look, you know, there would have been a chance of you not being involved in this, because you were set to potentially lose your tour card until you had that brilliant run at the World Championship, beat Michael Smith. Had Michael Smith beaten you there and you'd lost your tour card, where would you be now? Would you have gone to Q School and tried to get through, or reassess things? Because there's no guarantee you come through Q School, because that's brutal.
No, I'd 100% gone to Q School and trying to get my tour card back. Obviously, I came up to Q School and I watched one of the days, and I couldn't believe that when I went to Q School, it was obviously all in sort of one room, and then I could have watched a few friends and went into the playing room, and I was like, oh, it's lovely and quiet in here. Went into the practice room, and there was all practicing. It was carnage. So, but yeah, I'd have definitely gone again, and I'd have tried to get my tour card back, and I'd have believed my ability to got me through. But as you say, it's a lottery, Q School, and anything can happen there. There's so many good players that haven't come through it, and do you know what I mean? There's some surprise names as well that came through it. So I don't know. Do you know what I mean? I could have been sitting here now, not even taking part in the home tour like I said before. So yeah, it's brilliant, really.
Luke, really wish you the very best for the remainder of this tournament. Hope to see you right up to the end. The only bad news is you get to see Dan a lot more, but I'm sure you won't mind that. If you go all the way. Luke, I'm sure we'll have you on the Dart Show plenty more times. Thank you so much for coming on, and congratulations.
Thank you for having me. Thank you very much. Cheers. Thank you.
Coming up, we're going to be speaking to Nathan Aspinall on life at home and plenty more. Welcome back to a very special edition of the Darts Show from home. And from home is very much the theme on the PDC at the moment. Darts leading the way with the home tour. And now, delighted to say, Nathan Aspinall joins us to talk about the home tour and just everything darts in general. Nathan, thanks so much for joining us. Nathan, how have you found playing from home so far?
Different, very different. I've enjoyed it. It's been something new experience for me. But I'm sure a lot of the lads will agree, it's definitely different. You know, you can't get into any kind of rhythm. But no, I've enjoyed it in general, and I topped my group, so wasn't too bad.
I've got to be nice to Dan now, so I'm going to say something. Is it nice to see Dan when people are playing, isn't it?
It's always nice to see Dan.
Yeah, finally, first time today.
Nice to be told that anyway.
Look, Nath, you did all right on the dartboard, but to be honest, other forms of sporting activity have not gone well for you during this lockdown period, have they?
No, not really. I thought I'd try and be a bit fitter and a bit healthier. Obviously, not really much to do. Started running and I lasted 2 days and then I've torn my ligaments in my ankle. So safe to say I'll stick to the darts and I'll leave the running to someone else.
Nathan, I've got to ask you, I know you're into your golf and you'll be itching to get back on the golf course when you're fit and ready. But you must have been pretty excited when Tiger Woods was talking about darts the other day on an online chat because, let's face it, there aren't any bigger superstars in sport than Tiger Woods. And for him to maybe come to Ali Pali at one point, how much would it mean to you for Tiger Woods to watch you do what you do?
Well, as soon as I seen it, I told Kirsty, I said, I can't believe it. I said, Tiger Woods is into these darts. And, obviously Tiger Woods is one of my idols. I love golf. And, hey, bring him down to Ali Pali, give him some VIP seats. It'd be brilliant to meet the guy. But no, I am missing the golf. I've got a few little air balls in the back garden, so I've been doing a bit of chipping. But nah, I just want the courses to open, so at least we've got something to do. Don't mind playing golf every day.
Haven't you been doing a bit of playing in the garden as well with your darts?
I did. I got absolutely slated for it on social media because my little girl ran right in front of the board as I threw. So it wasn't very good for my part, and I got a bit of stick for it on social media. But yeah, I was just trying to make the best of a bad situation. I took a stand outside and tied it in with a bit of schoolwork for the little one as well. Bit of maths bingo we did.
Nathan, it's great to be home. It's always. I've had chance to spend time with my little one as well. It's great from the darts side. Has it sort of stopped your momentum a little bit because you're having a great start to the year, or have you had the opportunity to take stock of just how well things are going for you so far?
It's given me time to reflect on everything over the last 18 months, to be fair, because obviously it's been a bit of a whirlwind and I've never really had time to sit down and realise how far I've come so quickly. So certainly it's given me time to reflect on my short career so far. And it is nice to see the kids, I've gone from having a normal job seeing my kids every day to barely seeing them at all. So, the first 3 or 4 weeks was lovely. I love them to bits. I've had enough of them now, though. I want to get back on the tour, back playing, back going out for my Nando's and my mates. But, hopefully it won't be too long now.
Right, I'm going to remind you of that, Nathan. Like next year, when the calendar is absolutely rammed and you're going, I've got to go to Australia on the World Series for 3 weeks here. I just want to be back home in Stockport. I'm going to remind you of these words.
I will never moan about being away and the darts ever again. And I think Barry Evans said that as well. If anyone says that, he's going to kill them. But I think we're all in the same boat. We are missing it. I'm missing it like mad. I'm sure all the fans, I'm sure you guys are too. So, the home tour is brilliant, but it doesn't beat the real thing. But it is good, and I'm enjoying playing in it.
I've got to ask you, Nathan, you've got some very impressive ink on your left arm there. And dart players are noted for having a few tattoos. Now, we know that Joe Cullen's got a lot of ink, and Simon Whitlock has, and Michael Smith. Do you think yours is better?
Yeah, mine's newer. Million. To be fair, I've got one here, got like a roulette table, which is the same as Whitlock's. And night and day, to be fair, mine it is. But now, I love mine, but I'm sure the rest of the guys like theirs, but I think mine's pretty smart.
Who's got the worst tattoos in darts? Gary Anderson's got some horrendous.
I tell you what, have you seen Northies? Richard, no. Oh my God. Next time you see him, ask him to have a look. Terrible.
I'm not sure I want to see now, to be honest.
Yeah, he had some darts down his forearm, which they didn't even look like darts, to be fair. And then he's had that covered up, and he still doesn't look great. Bless him.
Fantastic.
Well, that's Northie all over for you, I suppose.
Speaking of ink, snakes, this is the perfect time for me to say, we've got to have a look at this, guys. Down the Local, featuring Michael Smith, Peter Wright, and Rob Cross.
Oh.
Yes, it's time to go down the local once more. This time, though, we've assembled a crack team. Former world champion Rob Cross, reigning world champion Peter Snakebite Wright, and a former world championship finalist in the bully boy Michael Smith. They're all thrown at the ball for 90 seconds. 1 point for an outer ball, 3 points for the ball itself. And Rob Cross aptly demonstrates that with a 5-point turn to kick things off. Michael Smith straight in there with his first dart. Doesn't follow it up with the next two. Now, how about the world champ? Beautiful start. And a 5-point visit for Peter Snakebite Wright. 13 points already. We gave pub teams up and down the country on the dart show the chance to do this, and the highest score anybody set was Sawbridgeworth. They got 30 points, got them VIP tickets to Ali Pali. Well, that is under threat already. We've got best part of a minute to go. Peter Wright picks up a ball last dart. The record is going here. The record is definitely going, because Rob Cross is in the bullseye again. It's a 4-point visit. They're picking up 4 or 5 points pretty much every turn. Michael Smith, can he find a ball? Oh, it's only 2, but that's level with the record. And that surpasses it. Now the question is, with half a minute left, what score can they set? Another 5-point visit for the world champ. 36 on the board. 50's under threat here, you know. 2-pointer. Bit of a letdown for these guys. Doesn't matter about the blocker dart for the bully boy. Superb couple of darts in the bullseye. Peter Wright. Can he get 2 balls? He can't, but 1 more would get him close. 49 points, and that is time up. It is an astonishing score of 49, blasting the previous record out the water. That's why these guys are the very best on the planet.
Of course, regular viewers of the dart show will know that Down the Local is done by players playing in the pub. So those 3 should be a lot better, and they were clearly. But Keith, if that whets your appetite, it will be back soon Down the Local. Before we go, Nathan, many people are predicting you to win major honours this year. Has that put extra pressure on you, or do you thrive on that?
I thrive on the pressure, but I have noticed recently that there's a lot more, my odds are getting shorter every single tournament I'm playing. People are backing me to win the Worlds even this year. So, I've got to take all that positives, and every tournament I play, I want to win, and I believe I can win in it. So, hopefully them guys are right, and we do win a couple.
I know my co-hosts agree as well that you're going to have a fine 2020 and 21. Dan, before we go, and I'll speak to Paul in a bit. Thoughts on Nathan so far? He's been very, very impressive, hasn't he?
Absolutely stunning. He needs to win a Euro Tour, though. That's the players
that's the next one on the list.
That's You're not a proper world-class elite level player unless you win a Euro Tour, eh, Nico?
That's absolutely true, and that's why I didn't win one. Got close on a couple of occasions, but what I can say, Nate, is, I don't know whether you're aware of this, but I speak to a lot of the players when we do Euro Tour action and on the phone and stuff, and the majority of them say that you're their favourite player because they like the package that you have. You're aggressive, you're classy, you're very magnanimous in defeat, but you're the full package, and we all want you to do well, and we wish you all the best for the rest of the season when we do return. You're absolutely brilliant for the game.
Yes, thank you. Appreciate that. Cheers.
Couldn't put it better myself, so I'm not even going to bother making it better. Absolutely perfectly put by Nico. So Nathan, Nathan, thank you so much for joining us. We really do wish you all the best, and good luck in the home tour. Nico, great to see you. And Dan, it's great to see you as well. Boys, we'll see you very soon. Thanks for joining us on a very special edition of the Dart Show. We'll be back very soon. Thank you very much.
Thank you.